the Buffalo Bills, and I think, on your way to a championship, you have to take steps. And I think the Buffalo Bills took a step last year, and I think their coaches are going to realize that when you go back and look at that game against the Kansas City Chiefs, there are details in which they were not on. They'll be better this offseason, and when they get in that moment again, they'll be on those details. I think the Buffalo Bills are the team to beat in the AFC.
Okay, I'm really happy that I don't have to make a pick on this one because I see it as completely crowded. I don't know who to take. But I'm surprised the Bengals aren't getting any love here. Not even a little bit?
Well, it's just not sustainable. Now, look, they have improved their offensive line, but when they gave up so many sacks last year, it's just hard to have that sustainability.
What is good, y'all? It's Jay Coffee Talk. Tapping back in with another one, man. Got another NFL Bills, video. We're talking about more than just the Bills, and this one is kind of like a two-parter video. But regardless, all the football fans, Bills fans, whoever, hit them comments. Let's talk. Y'all know that's how we rock over here. Or if you didn't, now you know. It's all about tapping in with the people, having that good convo on the different topics that we're touching on. But you heard that clip there. Booger McFarland giving his take on the AFC picture this upcoming year. That was just his segment. There was a few other cats on that show there. I'm not going to name them all off, but y'all, I'm sure the football fans are aware of who we're talking about here. And you see 3 of the 4 pick the Bills to be the top team in the AFC this upcoming season. And you see the odds with Vegas right now. Currently, Buffalo, has the best odds to win the AFC. So comment, guys, who do you got in the AFC? Do you look at the Bills as the best team? We made some good off-season moves. All in all, a lot of people may argue like, it's kind of early to have this discussion. You know what I'm saying? Still more stages in the off-season before we really get the picture of what teams are going to be looking like going into week 1. And I mean, it is what it is, but just for conversation's sake, let me know what you guys think. My Bills so far have made some decent moves, I believe. I like what we've done approaching the draft and all that. On that show when they were having this whole discussion, though, a couple cats were saying, why is Cincinnati not getting no love? No one's even mentioning the Bengals in this convo. Everyone's just talking about Bills and the Chiefs, and that kind of takes me back to the playoffs last year. I still don't like thinking about that 13 seconds, man, and the way that all went. It just it made me sick, man. For those who were rocking with me during that time, we had a few really great live streams, live discussions. Y'all were there to help me get through coping with that. That was just tough, man. Like, real talk, I kind of let it roll off me pretty easily, but the next day that pain set in. For real, man. Like, but it seemed like everyone agreed that, like, everyone felt like the Bills would have just ran through the Bengals. And, I say it all the time, coulda, woulda, shoulda, almost, that whole, like, it don't matter, it only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. You guys can comment, let me know if you guys agree with that. Certain teams, just the way they match up, it is what it is. But the Bengals not really getting mentioned in this discussion, and no other teams for that matter. The Titans, I don't know. Let's throw some names out there. Let's talk. Who do you guys see, and not just to be the top team in the AFC, but who's some other teams that you think got a pretty good shot, or you see making the playoffs, or maybe some sleeper teams who got some talent. Once again, this is kind of early on for all these discussions, but let's get it.
Like free money, and the Buffalo Bills are not going anywhere. They're going to remain in Western New York, and they're going to build them a new stadium using $850 million of public money, which, it's a thing that happens sometimes.
I put the clap away.
Ian, but what are they supposed to do? What are owners supposed to do?
Pay for it! You're a billionaire!
The city's going to give them $850 million. Nah, I'm good. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
No, that's the argument. People like free money, and I think in Western New York...
So in other news, also pertaining to my Buffalo Bills, you guys hear that clip there from McAfee, who is at Rappaport on there chopping it up with him. The Bills, stadium deals getting pushed through. Although it's being said it still has some final red tape to break through with the legislature, where it's got to go in for like another vote. But I'm guessing like all those who got to give the ayes and nays or whatever basically have already spoke their piece if it's hitting the news to this level. But man, like when I hate when they say it like that, right? That they're like, the Bills are staying. Like, did anyone really think that the Bills were going to go anywhere? I remember leading into last season, there was this reports that were breaking out talking about like the Bills going to San Antonio or some whole other ish. Those reports were strictly coming because of these stadium deals or whatever, because the lease with the current stadium was coming to an end, and then the new proposals for the new stadium, which if you guys recall originally, comment guys for anyone who remembers what I'm talking about, that the original proposal had a little bit of a gap before the new stadium would be built, and this current lease was over where the Bills might need a temporary home. And I remember hearing him say something about Penn State or some other place, because obviously the owner Terry Pagula has ties to Penn State. Flat out built the hockey program there, like single-handedly from my understanding. The guy loves hockey, which is nuts to me because obviously, for those who are up on things, Pagula saved the Bills. Will always, like, thank God for Terry Pagula is the way I always put it, man. Because there was a point in time when the Bills' future was in limbo after the passing of, Ralph Wilson. No deal could ever get made while he was still alive. He didn't want to leave the team to his daughters, inheritance taxes and things like that. So, it was always just kind of an understanding he was just going to sell the team, and it scared the fuck out of me as well as a lot of other people out there, because there's a lot of people that were saying, Buffalo is not the type of place, to have a professional team, or like we're just not a happening enough city or some ish like that. But thank God for Terry Pagula, and fuck all them who wanted to move us. You know what I mean? I believe Trump was actually one of the guys involved in groups of investors who wanted to buy the team and move them. There was a dude, what's his name? John Bon Jovi was involved with some investors as well. They wanted to take the team to Toronto. Fuck that. I never even really liked when we played the one home game a year in Toronto. It takes away from home field advantage for one, and for all those who remember the stadium, the Blue Jay Stadium was terrible to play football on. Whatever the process was that they would turn it into a football stadium, it was like dangerous, where it was slippery. Guys were blowing their knees out. It was just a mess. But it seems to be a done deal. Some of the money's coming from the public. They were discussing it a little bit about that in the clip from McAfee there. What does everyone think about that? That happens with taxpayer money and everything. Like you heard him, he said, the owner's a billionaire. They should just build a stadium. And something that I kind of want to point out, as we were just discussing Pagula buying the team, this new stadium deal, I believe, is $1.4 billion. And from my remembrance, I remember like that's what I believe Pagula paid for the team, is $1.4 billion. And something else that they discuss later in the video is, a lot of times there seems to be an unwritten rule that if a team gets a new stadium, they get a Super Bowl. Do you guys think we could see a Super Bowl in Buffalo? Obviously the cold weather and everything, but we saw it with the New Jersey Giants and New Jersey Jets when they had that Super Bowl. But again, with this new stadium, I believe it's supposed to be like a partially indoor-outdoor stadium with like a dome that they're going to have open and close. I don't know. I really, at the end of the day, just to throw my 2 cents in there, I hate that we're leaving this stadium behind. I love it. I mean, I know that's the name of the game. You got to upgrade and everything, but I love that stadium. I love that we play outdoors in those sub-zero temperatures, you know what I'm saying? So cold, if you're out there tailgating, your beer freezes. I loved it. That was just a part of the Bills' experience and, the atmosphere and everything. So I don't know, things are switching up on us. And, I also want to know, for those who are Bills fans, what are your guys' thoughts about the team? This new stadium going to continue to be in Orchard Park. A lot of people were lobbying for the stadium to be downtown, which this current stadium, I believe they've been playing in since like 73. Prior to that, the War Memorial / Rock Pile was downtown. I've had relatives who told me about going to games there, that during halftime, they would have veterans that were in the crowd come out on the field and be honored and stuff like that. But yeah, the stadium stays in Orchard Park, from my understanding. And then the last topic that I want to, go over on this video here is a guy that I just wanted to, I believe I might have spoke about this in one other video, but it's a player I got a lot of love for, and I'm sure a lot of other Bills fans do as well. We're talking about Tyrod Taylor. He was here when we broke the playoff drought. Although he had been benched right before that happened, we're not going to talk about that too much because, that one scrub that I don't even like mentioning his name was involved in that whole debacle, that whole decision there. But Tyrod Taylor, hell of an athlete, hell of a role model, all around good guy, team player. And I'm happy to see with him signing with the Giants, it seems he has a really good shot at starting. And, we don't know if that'll happen. Maybe through the draft, they get a guy that could compete for the job. But I believe right now, isn't it just Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor, and Jake Fromm, State Farm, who was also with the Bills before? Or am I tripping? I didn't even look at their depth chart. But I don't know. It seems Tyrod has a good shot at starting. So comment if you think that Tyrod will get that starting job. And, I was happy to see him get other opportunities beyond Buffalo. In Cleveland, I believe he got hurt, or I can't remember what exactly played into Baker Mayfield taking the starting job from him, because that was supposed to be Tyrod's team one more year while Baker, learned from him. And, Tyrod is pointing out, I'm seeing in reports that he's happy to work with Daniel Jones. So I believe that's their plan, for Daniel to learn from Tyrod. But after Cleveland, then it was L.A., and he ended up getting hurt there. It was supposed to be his job. He got hurt. He was supposed to get the job back after he came back from injury, but the injury turned out to be way worse thanks to the training staff accidentally puncturing his lung. And then last year in Houston, you see this one play here, this amazing touchdown that he had. It was like, okay, Tyrod gets another start, and he was going around. I believe he interviewed with McAfee about it. He was happy, and boom, got injured again. So hopefully Tyrod gets to play the year out with the Giants and gets that starting job. Once again, comment. Let me know if you guys think he will get that job, and if you feel the same way as me, that you're happy to see him get another opportunity. But that will close this video out. Just a little NFL blog I threw together off a few topics, that I've been tapped in on. So thanks for watching. Look forward to talking to everyone in the comments. New viewers out there, sub to the channel, hit the notification bell. Content dropping every day, all day. Music, news, sports, and much more. I'm about here. Peace.